Hello everyone, back tuning into today's third video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's third video, which could take us to around the 12th of June. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extended GFS and ECM Ensembles running around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That's going to take us pretty much to the end of June. So the first video released today was having a look at the chance of quite a significant storm coming up into the Gulf of Mexico over the weekend into next week. Could impact the Gulf Coast of the United States. So if you're interested in that, have a look at what's going on there. And also we released the ECM 30-day look at as well earlier on today. So yes, have a look at those two videos if you would like to do that. Now, for anything else, I was going to say hello and a big thank you to our latest YouTube channel member. So, hello and thank you so much to Don Gibson. Thank you so much to Don Gibson for becoming our latest Gazzo's YouTube channel member. We've got loads of channel members as well to announce. I want to give each channel member their own individual video. So there will be more channel members being announced in the next few videos. But thank you so much to Don Gibson. Thank you so much, Don, for becoming a Gazzo's YouTube channel member. If you would like to become a channel member for Gazzo's, all you need to do is come to the Gazzo's YouTube homepage, click the join button. It'll take you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and you can also sign up on that page as well. There's going to be a once-a-month live stream on the first Saturday of the month at 5 o'clock for channel members. First one of those is coming up this Saturday. Channel members are also getting a week's advance access to the Winter 2020-21 NAO forecast. They're going to be released on Sunday for channel members. That'll be released on Sunday for channel members, and then it'll be getting its general global release across the internet on Sunday the 14th of June, a week later. So yes, if you'd like to become a channel member, then all you need to do is click the join button and it'll take you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member and also sign up. Thank you so much to all of our channel members. It's been a huge boost for Gazzo over these past few weeks while I've been going through this coronavirus crisis. So thank you so much to all of our channel members, and also a big thank you to our patrons and donors. Talking of Patreon, I have suspended billing on the Gazzo's Patreon page just for this month. I'll reinstate it next month in July, so the normal payment cycle will start again from July. But for June, I just wanted to give all the patrons a chance, an opportunity to go over to YouTube and become a channel member if they want. Don't have to. You can stay as patrons if you want. That's absolutely fine. It's no problem whatsoever. But I wanted to make everybody aware of what's happening on YouTube, because it's a very similar program that Patreon and YouTube are doing. The only difference is that it's much easier to deliver sort of benefits to the channel members on YouTube than it is to the patrons on Patreon. So if anybody wants to change over from Patreon to YouTube, they can, and that's absolutely fantastic. If they would rather not, and they'd rather stay as patrons, then there's no problem whatsoever. You can stay as patrons, and billing will resume next month when we get into July. Thank you so much to all of our patrons, all of our donors, and all of our channel members. And a special thank you to Don Gibson for becoming our latest channel member. Thank you so much, Don, for doing that. Right, before we start with this, so back in 1975, 45 years ago today, it was snowing across parts of the British Isles. The latest sort of widespread snowfall to hit the country on record, perhaps certainly for lowland southern England. So this is how things, this at the historic archive of charts at West Central, of course. This is how things were looking on the 1st of June, I should say, in 1975. Winds in from the north, and there's a little sort of feature here to the south of Iceland that swings down across the country. Look at this, we go through into the 2nd of June, swings down across the country. Quite a major area of low pressure, brings heavy rain across the country. And then as that low pressure clears away, then we start to open the door to those cold northerly winds. Here they come. The low pressure moves into the North Sea. Wind turns into the north, and those cold northerlies flood down across the country and brings rain with it, yes, but also brings snow in places as well. These are the 850 upper air temperatures for the 2nd of June 1975. We can see that it was a notably cold air mass that we have moving down across the country there. So this is the midday chart for 2nd June 1975. -5 Celsius isotherm is involved, and along with evaporative cooling, that was enough to turn the rain to snow, and there was, in fact, snow on the ground. There was snow cover, even down to southern parts of England on the 7th of June 1975. So a cold and wintry beginning to June 1975. Of course, it didn't last all that long, and as we go through the rest of the summer, it actually becomes very, very hot. Look at that, that's the 2nd of August 1975 with a big area of high pressure over the top of the country. It turns hot and dry through most of the summer of 1975 after that cold and wintry start to the summer. The rest of the summer really was hot and dry, and of course that was the first of the two great drought summers of 75 and then 76. We had two back-to-back very hot and dry summers culminating in the summer of 1976. Two very dry winters as well, really, and the whole thing meant that all of the reservoirs and rivers just dried up through the summer of 76, and we had the great drought in what was the daddy of hot summers. But 75 is not to be forgotten, because after that cold and wintry start to June 1975, it certainly turned much, much hotter as the summer progressed. Anyway, I thought you'd like that little trip down memory lane. It was 45 years ago today. Who can believe that? Well, I said at the beginning we've done a little update about what's happening in the Gulf over the next few days. So we have got a tropical depression. It's tropical depression 3 just here. At the minute, it's affecting Honduras and Guatemala in particular. It looks like it's going to affect southern parts of Mexico as well in the next couple of days. And then it's going to move northwards into the Gulf at the end of the week and into the weekend, and might threaten the Gulf Coast. At the moment, it's giving maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour with a central pressure of 1,003 millibars. And this is what I said about it. It's producing very severe flooding, deadly flooding in parts of Guatemala and El Salvador. It's expected to affect Honduras and some parts of Mexico, as well as El Salvador and Guatemala in the next few days. It's going to move northwards into the into the Gulf of Mexico, I should say. And if I show you the static images, there they are. So it's going to move northwards into the Gulf. There it is by midnight on Sunday. That's the mean position, but it could be anywhere in this sort of cone area. It could be east or west of that. But the upshot is we've got this system as probably as a tropical storm Cristobal, moving into the Gulf through the weekend, and then it's also going to head northwards through Sunday and into Monday, and could well give an impact to this Gulf Coast just here. So all eyes will be on the Gulf in the next few days. Moving back close to home, this is how things look in terms of the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. Looking at Glossop in the North Midlands today in Derbyshire. So the red line is 30-year upper air temperature average for Glossop. We're still hanging on to the warmth today, but temperatures are on the slide. They're going to become cooler over the next few days. It's going to be really quite chilly, actually, as we get through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Gradually through next week, it looks like we're seeing a recovery in the temperature. Temperatures are beginning to lift up, and we do have quite a few hot GFS ensemble members appearing now as we look towards the middle part of June. This period just here, we've got quite a few that are going pretty hot, some staying cool, but it does look as though temperatures are lifting up through the second week of June and potentially going a little bit on the hot side. But the most dramatic element of this is precipitation. Look at this. It's been a long time since we've seen a precipitation ensemble graph that's as wet as this, and it's pretty much starting like tomorrow. and just carrying on right way through. Some quite big precipitation spikes are there as well, telling us that we could actually be in for a rather wet first half of June. I wouldn't rule it out at all now that we could have quite a wet first half of June, certainly with heavy showers and longer spells of rain, and I wouldn't totally rule out chance of thunderstorms and some more persistent spells of rain as well. And of course this period just here towards the middle of the month is quite interesting, because we have got these hot outliers, but we also have quite a lot of precipitation, so that suggested potential around the middle of June for volatility. We could see the weather becoming really quite volatile, getting hot and humid maybe, but also seeing the temperature really starting to lift up as well, and set of heavy showers and thunderstorms. It's certainly a possibility on that ensemble, but it does look a lot wetter than we've had for a very, very long time. So if you're waiting for rain for your garden, that looks very, very encouraging, I have to say. Bear in mind it is for like the North Midlands, so it's probably one of the wetter parts of the country, but nevertheless I think the trend is increasingly towards this first half of June now looking quite showery, potentially by the middle of the month even a bit thundery. That's how the GFS is looking for Friday. So low pressure in the North Sea on Friday, and we're putting down these cold northerly winds. It really will be very chilly as we come to the end of the week. Chilly for the time of year. I mean, we're talking about early June, so we're not talking about cold as in the depths of winter. But certainly it's that normally going to pack a bit of a punch, and you're going to feel the drop in the temperature. I suspect in the south, in the sunshine, sheltered from the wind, it will probably still feel relatively warm by day because the sun has so much strength to it now. But if you happen to be under cloud and showers and longer spells of rain, with that northerly wind as well, it will probably feel quite cold at the end of the week. That's Saturday, again low pressure off the east coast of Scotland, still bringing in those northerly to northeast winds, looks cool and showery. Through Sunday into the early part of next week, the low pressure just sort of sits over top of the country then. So we lose that nasty northerly wind, but we'll still have showers, if not some longer spells of rain coming in with that. And then through to middle of next week, we've got another low pressure out to our southwest. We've got to watch where that's going. That might slide away to our south and not bring too much in way of rain into the country. Alternatively, it could actually push in across the country and bring quite a spell of wet weather. Into the second half of next week, moving up towards day 10, which is the 12th of June, we sort of keep that low pressure out to our southwest. Notice quite a bit of high pressure going to the north. That's hints of northern blocking getting going. This is quite warm though. It's bringing the wind up from the south away. The low pressure is aligned just there with the ridge just here, that is pulling up the winds from the south. So we could start to see some quite warm air being pushed up from the south, but at the same time it would be quite volatile with heavy thunderstorms, certainly a possibility, maybe in some more persistent spells of rain. And then moving into the middle part of June, this GFS run keeps the low pressure coming, so very unexpectedly, it looks as though we're going into an increasingly unsettled spell of weather, really, through the first half of June. The GM looks like that. Northerly winds on Friday, bringing showers, if not long spells, rain to many parts of the country. That carries on into Saturday as well. Notice quite tightly packed isobars as well as going to the weekend. So not only is it cool and showery, I think there is a prospect, so for more northern northwestern parts of the country, of some gale force winds with those northerlies. The wind should ease out through the early part of next week as the low pressure sort of sinks in over the top of the country, so that does see an end to the wind, but it'll still be rather cool and showery. And then the GM brings the next low in off the Atlantic. Remember, the GFS has that sort of sliding to our west-southwest, but the GM actually brings that in across the country through the middle part of next week. That will bring quite a bit of rain with it. We finish up going up towards day 10, which is the 12th of June, bringing the next area of low pressure in off the Atlantic. High pressure is having a really good go at getting going over Scandinavia, though. But up to day 10, the GM keeps things unsettled. And we've got the ECM Ensembles again, winds in from the north on Friday. So showers or longer spells of rain. That goes on into Saturday, quite windy and cool as well. Not going to be the best of weekends, I have to say. So I hope you made the most of that last weekend's barbecue weekend, because I don't think many people are going to be getting their barbecues out this weekend. We go through to Monday, and the low pressure is over the top of the country. We're losing that northerly wind, so that's the good news about the early part of next week. We do lose the northerly, so it won't feel as chilly, but nevertheless, it's still unsettled, really. And then moving up towards day 10, which is 12th of June, again we find low pressure then setting up to our south, high pressure building to the north and west. Winds are going easterly, so that will be starting to import some warmer air in from the east. We would be seeing temperatures beginning to lift up, upper air temperatures looking quite warm, especially away to our east. So that does start to bring in warmer air from the east. But of course, with the low pressure to the south, that provides the energy for showers, if not longer spells of rain, in more southern parts of the country. And as temperatures begin to lift up and the humidity increases, maybe the prospect of some thunderstorms. We'll have to wait and see about that. But it does look as though we could get some really useful rain through this early part of June now. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Tibetio.com. A lot of dry weather today, but we have got the cold front bringing the change to the north. That's bringing outbreaks of rain in across Scotland. That drifts southwards into tonight and tomorrow. Much of the more persistent rain is across northwest England, Wales and southwestern England. Not all that much coming through the Midlands into East Anglia, although there could be some heavy showers breaking out across these more southern and southeast areas tomorrow. We'll totally rule out the chance of some thunder, more persistent rain in the southwest as well. That cold front clears away by the end of tomorrow and we're left in a cooler sort of northerly air mass. I mean, it's a case of watching these showers or perhaps even longer spells of rain pushing southwards into the second half of the week. And of course, this is Thursday. It's bringing showering rain in across the Midlands, for example, where it has been so very, very dry over the past few weeks. And as we go into Friday again, further showers, maybe suggestion of some longer spells of rain involved. And not only rain, even a little bit of snow being forecast for the Scottish mountains. These precipitation type forecasts are quite unreliable, but it is a sort of situation where I wouldn't be that surprised if we had snow turning up over the Scottish mountains. Actually, snow over the Scottish mountains not all that uncommon in June, to be honest. So I wouldn't be that surprised if there's some snow over the Scottish mountains during the weekend. And just see showers or longer spells of rain coming and going through the weekend, really, even pushing down into the south. We've got rain pushing down into the south. Very, very useful after so many weeks of being really, really dry. We're into the early part of next week now with further showers, particularly for more eastern areas. And then into the second half of next week, we begin to move low pressure in from the southwest, and that brings more heavy showers, maybe some longer spells of rain to more southern parts of the country. Remember, at this point, the low pressure sits to our south and higher pressure is to the north, so it suggests things turn drier in the north, but still the chance of some showers, if not longer spells of rain, maybe some thunder for more southern parts of the country. So much needed and very useful rain coming up in the next 10 days, if that's right. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles for day 10. It gets us to the 12th of June. Have 26 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure sitting away to our north and northwest, and low pressure is down to our south and southwest, and this pulls up wind from a southerly direction. So that could bring some heavy showers, maybe some thundering to more southern areas. For northern areas, it is drier. This, as I say, does include the operational run as well, by way of that's the run we're just looking at. 17 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure to our south, but in closer to us, high pressure a bit further away to the north. That's very similar to this option, just perhaps a little bit more unsettled, and especially so for England and Wales. And then 8 just here have low pressure to the northwest, and they're bringing in westerly winds. So up to day 10, it looks as though the ECM Ensembles are favouring pretty unsettled weather now. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is getting us to the 17th of June. We have 30 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure to our north and low pressure to our southwest. That's going to be warm, but potentially still quite wet. The low pressure to the southwest throwing up more bands of rain from the southwest, and they could be thundery. And then 21 members of the ECM Ensembles building up a ridge. That's returning us to drier and warmer weather. The Azores high building up from the southwest. It looks like it's ridging to some sort of Scandinavian high as well, and so that's pushing the jet stream away to the north, of course. Low pressure weakening around Iceland and Greenland. And that's just taking us into a much drier and warmer spell of weather there as we move up to 2 weeks' time, which is the 17th of June. But it's a very long way out. 21 members of the ECM Ensembles are doing that, so it's a significant minority, but the majority option is the 30 just here that are still quite unsettled even to the 17th of June, albeit probably quite warm. Then finally with CFS V2, so these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period going to take us from the 2nd to the 8th of June. The coming week we'll have low pressure in control of the weather sitting over to the southeast country. The ridge has pulled out to our northwest. So obviously we're cooler, we're bringing in wind from the north, and the low pressure brings unsettled weather too. That's week 2. It's the 9th to the 15th of June. Low pressure is sitting to the south. High pressure is sitting to the north. Winds are in from the east, so this could be quite warm. We could be drawing in warm winds from the east, but maybe unsettled, and particularly so for more southern parts of the country, actually, could be rather thundery. Week 3 carries it on. It's the 16th to 22nd of June, a nice Scandinavian high connecting back to Greenland and northern blocking. Low pressure to the south, winds again in from the east. So showers or longer spells of rain for more southern areas potentially. Drier in the north, probably quite warm with winds coming in from the east. And then we finish up in week 4, so the 23rd to 29th of June. Very little change really. It's a weaker signal, but really it's still the same sort of pattern. High pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure covering much of western and southwestern Europe. Winds therefore probably still coming from the east, and maybe the chance of some showers or long spells of rain for more southern areas. So all of a sudden, this is potentially turning into quite an unsettled June now. Quite a wettish signal for June, and maybe although quite unsettled, it could be quite warm after this cold start, because we're going to have a northerly start, so we are going to be turning things cold in the next few days. But next week could start to see the temperature lifting up. But if it does, it could be unsettled. So warm rain, good growing weather, I suppose, and the chance of maybe the chance of thunder in there as well. So all in all, looking quite interesting through the first half of June. This may carry on beyond that as well, and yes, so I think we could well be in for quite an interesting sort of couple of weeks of it, with the weather, with the temperature recovering next week, but also with still the chances of quite a bit of rain. Right then, so that's it for the videos for today. I think tomorrow we're going to have the 5-day forecast. We'll probably have another look at what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico in a video, and we'll have the regular video update with all the usual features. And of course, at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, we'll be live streaming. We'll be here live from 6 o'clock, and we'll be looking at 12Z data with GFS and the GEM, and having a bit of a chat and see how we're all doing. So that live stream will be from 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. But for this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.